again, guys. Ask yourself what do you think the goal for this question? What do I need to know? Did I presenting my slide? Where's my slide? Okay. So guys, so again, what is the goal for this question? What do I need to know? So so sir, can I give my opinion?
Yeah. If nobody comment, no other comment, then yes, go ahead.
For my opinion is like Zhixian have Zhixian have say the same thing as I thought, like to get the more information so that we can make a decision more effectively. Then when I reading this question, that actually I felt like this question is much more like a reason that I stated in the first question. What do you think? So it's like you get yourself conscious, get yourself active in the situation. So you keep asking the people for the opinion and always be prepared to be known. So the question I the reason I said like in the question one is gathering the information, confirming the intuition, assessing judgment and leadership, teaching people what I think, and processing a decision. Yeah, this is what I think. The reason that apply in the first question also apply in this. So but the difference is the first question is you ask people for the opinion. Then the eighth question is kind of like the level the first level the first level the first level of listening, internal listening. You ask yourself you ask yourself, what do I need to know? Yeah. Sir, you got any comment?
Yeah. I think this question is more than that. If we look at the question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 as a progression, always remember, think of it as a progression. There's progressing, going deeper and deeper, going building the connection between the leader and the team members. Okay, initially it's just a starting. That's why question 1. What do you think? What do you think is only like stirring up communication, connection? Now, if we connect question 8 to question 7, it's something else altogether again. Now, question 7 is talking about evaluated experience. Question 7 is talking about now you have been doing your project, you're getting results from your action, and you are communicating with your team member now to bring about better results, trying to maximize the things that you are learning and all that. Now, very often when we are maximizing as a leader, I definitely fall into this problem a lot. Okay, as a leader, very often we think we are caught up in a situation where very often we think we know everything already. Okay, we assume that we see the picture better than everybody else. Now, this is already halfway through. You already, whereas question 1 is the beginning. Okay, now I find that this question is very important. Very important in that it reminds back that I am also a lead. Even though I'm a leader, I also have my limitation, and I need to see if any of the team member see something that I don't see, know something that I don't know. Okay, now it's the second level of what do you think. Now it's not what do you think about the project. What do you think I need to know to continue leading? Now I'm asking for input for me as a leader to push forward with the evaluated experience. What do you think is a general? What do you think about the project? What do you think? Now is what do I need? It's two different question. Now, to me, this is a recognition of self. That you are limited, even though you are the leader. And honestly, not many people do it. Okay, not many people, because it's a vulnerable question. It's a question that put yourself vulnerable. It's a question where now you pull yourself back down. You know what I'm saying? Now, very often when you are leading a project, it's very easy for eventually for us to move, like we are above the team. You know what I'm saying? We are sitting above the team. We are standing above the team. Our status is above the team. Our insights is above the rest of the team members. Now, if you picture yourself in that scenario, and then now you ask this question, what are you doing? You're allowing yourself to go back down to your team member, giving now your team member the right to correct you, the right to teach you, the right to help you understand things that you miss. The right for your team member to recognize your limitation and recognize your weakness. Can picture that? Which is why it's slightly different from question 1. Question 1 is more of a general. It's question to initiate connection. Okay, and generally it's a very safe question that get answers about the project, not about you personally as the leader, team leader. But this question is not about the project. It's about you. But also bear in mind, this will give you the tremendous opportunity to grow as a leader. Okay. Now, if we look at what are the previous question? What did you learn? Question 5. Right? It's about your team member. You want your team member to learn. Right? That means you are concerned for your team member learning. Now, when you ask the question, what do you learn? Think about it. You as a team leader, and then you're asking, what do you learn? You're putting yourself in a position as a teacher. Doesn't that? What do you learn means I am above. You are the student. You are the learner. Now, what do I need to know? I'm reversing the situation. Now, I'm asking, be my teacher. I will need to know. I need to learn. In case I miss out something so please teach me now. I want to learn. Can see that? Now, it's a good thing, but not a very easy thing to do. Most team leadership, team situation, unless the team dynamics very strong and everybody is sort of the level of difference between the members are not very high, then they already build the dynamics of anybody can rise and anybody can step down. Anybody can rise and anybody can step down. But this is an initiative taken by the leader himself to step down. Right? Allowing the member to recognize, hey, I'm a learner too. Okay, any comment? Can picture? I hope you can picture the importance of this, but not an easy question to ask. Okay, if no comment, oh yes, somebody got a comment, yes. Yes. Okay, at this point, I will say this to you. I'm not the right teacher to teach you because this is not something I in the habit of doing. I have learned to do. This is not something I have learned to do. I'm not that good enough a leader that have learned to practice this. So all I can say to you, try out and let me know. But now I hope you can see the 5 and 8, the two sides. 5 is about concern for your team member learning. 8 is about concern for your team member teaching you. Can see that? So I presume you have to apply 5 and 8. That means when you apply 5, okay, and then you move to 6 and 7 to make sure, okay, you consolidate all the input from what have you learned, right? Because when you ask what have you learned, right, everybody will give input one ma. And that's why the 6 and 7 is to consolidate and to maximize so that eventually you have sort of one core lesson for most of the team member. It's like you summarize all the input from questions 5 and then it becomes easy for people to capture. Right? Yeah. I think in this case, once you have done that, I think worthwhile for you to do this. In other words, you are opening yourself while being vulnerable. In other words, you are opening yourself to other people pointing out your blind spot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're opening up for other people to tell you your blind spot, which is good. Because once you do that, the team becomes a stronger team. It's no longer a team with the team leader a bit too far up. Okay. And sorry, Jin Lee, I am not the best person. I haven't, because this is not something I have practiced. So I don't have experience to tell you. Since I've not done it, I don't have experience to share with you how it can be done properly or effectively. So I can only advise, try it when you can. And try to and then improve it from there. Okay. Any other question? Good question, by the way. It's very good. It's just that I can't help you. Any other question or comment? Or anybody who have seen somebody doing this before? Honestly, I haven't seen anybody do it before either. I don't remember having heard any of my team leader done it in the past either. But when I read through this, when I was preparing the notes, I read through this. It really made a lot of sense. Okay, to create that kind of a synergistic team that doesn't put the leader above the team member. Okay, yeah. Okay, any other question, comment? Otherwise, Yi Huang, question 9.
Okay, thank you, sir, for sharing. So then we continue to question 9. So same as usual. How do you think? What is the goal for this question, guys? How do we make the most of this opportunity? The final goal for this question.
Okay, Yi Huang, continue.
Oh, okay.
Or you're typing, is it?
Yeah.
Finish typing first.
No, I finished typing already. I just giving my thoughts just now that for this question, I think we might have a different point of view on this question, but I will share myself first about what I think and what do I think the goal for this question that we have to use in a team when we why we need to use to ask this question. So for me, it's like that most of the time that we usually try tend to seeking a opportunity without understanding what do we have in our hands. So when we do that, we still need to ask this question so we can realize and recognize that yeah, I do have uh the opportunity that we already had in hand, and try to use it properly and in effective way. Yeah. Like there's a sentence mentioned in the book that the door to one opportunity often comes from another. So if you pursue an opportunity, it almost always lead to other opportunity. So it popped out from my thought lah, that door the door which mean uh sir, can you explain? I don't know how to explain about this this thing.
This again, always bear in mind if you want to connect so far all the question. Actually, all the question 1 to question 9, they're all connected one. You can see the progress. All the questions are not individual questions. Okay, they are all related. And they're all leading questions. It leads to this. That's why after you've done your evaluated experience, if you have done your evaluation, you have got your input from your team member, and you also about the project and about yourself and also about each other, and everybody is learning, and then we are evaluating the result. Or never stop there. Very often, a lot of time, people stop there and then they celebrate. Life is not. Life is to climb from one plateau to the next. Okay, until your end of your life, so that you can reach the highest possible plateau with your life. And this is what you do. So after you have completed this project, so to speak, right? Now you're asking, okay, is there any road that leads to something else? What are all the different roads? What are all the different connections that can lead to something else? So that I don't stop here, I don't end here, I don't start something from zero again. I start from where I am to go to the next better place. Yeah. Now bear in mind, that's why you may find that once you have, that's why if you see the question, how do you make the most? It's the most, most imply that you want something as best as you can find. That means from this particular project or from this particular event, from this particular outcome, you will probably be able to identify more than one other thing now in front that connects to this. So when you're looking, oh, okay, now I've done this. Now, definitely, if I had done this, I would have the ability and the potential to do in the future, to do things of smaller capacity than this project, correct? Because I've already done it. I have the skill, I have the connection, I have the equipment, I have the experience, I have the team member. I definitely will be able to repeat other projects of similar or smaller potential. But that's not what this question is asking. He's talking about most of this opportunity, implying that no, I'm not settling for smaller project, smaller potential. I am settling for equal or better still, greater potential. So I want to look at, in this case, the road all the different route from this project that leads to other things. So when I assess all the route, I'm looking for the best. That's why the most. I'm looking for the next best potential opportunity. That's what making the most of this opportunity is all about. Okay? That's why it requires a proactivity, right? To tell yourself, hey, don't just celebrate. Yes, you should celebrate. You have already put in so much effort, but don't stop with just celebration. Celebrate, and then you have to take one additional initiative, proactivity. That is now, okay, back to work and say, what is next? Where is the better next? I know, I've seen repeatedly, a lot of people don't do that. And to me, it's very sad. Because once you don't do that, you lost your opportunity. Okay? You lost your opportunity. Any road, you can only reach the destination by moving forward. So now it's about identifying and then taking the proactivity to get back to work and move forward. Okay? So it is not the end. So every end is only the connect to the beginning of the next. Always remember that. The end of every project doesn't end. The end of every project, every event, every opportunity is connected to the first step of the next project, event, opportunity. That's why, in a way, life doesn't end. If you look at it that way, your opportunity doesn't end, your life doesn't end, your pursuit in life doesn't end. They only ends when you end, when your life ends. Because life is about moving to the highest possible place. Okay, but you have to identify your purpose in life so that then only you can identify your highest possible place that is related to your purpose, what it is. Okay, any comment? If not, question 10.
Okay. So yeah. This is the quote I find from website when I read this question. The bigger the channel, the bigger the opportunity. So to have a great opportunity, we need to accept the great challenge. So the next question, question 10. How are the numbers? Yeah. Again, guys, what is the goal for this question?
Okay, Yi-Huang?
Okay. Seems like a lot of you got roughly got the idea lah. So for me, to this question that actually for this question is I already wrote down in the slide for the what I'm thinking about this question. So the question like showing more than to the statistic ratios and logic is all about the numbers about the logical thinking and comparing and encouraging the team myself and the team and other to boost up and improve them it to improve themselves and to most importantly to understand where your position and your status understand how to improve yourself in current state. So in the book that there is a statement to mention this question is to review the numbers compared with the historical performance, which is our past experience to compare with our past experience that we have going through and assess where you are succeeding and falling short to evaluate what you have done in what have you done in previous time and also to make a better change and decision in order to improve yourself, your team, or your organization. Okay, sir, any add-on?
Very important. Comparable is you cannot compare all the time, and yet you cannot don't compare. We always bear in mind. You cannot compare all the time because comparison you cannot just apply comparison all the time. You have to look at your circumstances to compare. Because if you base purely on comparison, right, you will feel either pride or discouraged. Agree? But yet, we cannot don't compare. Because without comparison, there's no motivation to improve. And comparison got two: internal comparison and external comparison. Internal comparison means compare with your own past. Compare with what you have done before. Why? Improvement. You always want to see yourself better and better. So you compare with your history. But not only that, you also have external comparison. You compare with others. Why you want to compare with others? To put yourself down? No. Comparison with others is not to put yourself down. Comparison with others is for you to recognize what you can learn from others. If other people are better than you, just accept and acknowledge. Oh, okay. In fact, you should be happy that there are people better than you, because only when you have other people better than you, you can have a place where you can learn. If nobody is better than you, who are you going to learn from? But of course, for an insecure person, a person who is insecure don't want other people to be better than you. But if you are secure and really want to learn, there's no problem having somebody who are better than you. You see what I'm saying? So that's why this comparison is very important. Okay? But yet, again, I want to really stress, numerical comparison is not the only thing. So don't use that as the only motivation for improvement. But it is one of the many important elements for motivation for improvement. Okay? The danger I have seen for a lot of people is this, what I call short sendiri. They do finish a project, they don't compare with other people, and then they pat themselves on the shoulder. Well done! They pat their own back. They compliment themselves. Okay? Well done! And then they close at that. And usually people who don't have much, don't put much effort in number 10, also don't put much effort with number 9. Okay? Okay, any comment, question? If not, Yi-Huang, go to question 11. Compare to construct and improve yourself, not compare to...
Okay. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, correct. Good comment.
Actually, sorry. Okay. Before going to the next question, that this question, the author have already provide clear that we still need the statistic to understand our where are we now lah. So KPI will be the good example on this question lah. So what do you think about the KPI? What is KPI means for is actually the measurement or so-called milestone to check up the improvement and output of ourselves. So the three factor we need this with the question is to see where are we, to know how to move on, and also to understand or revise why are we here. Okay, so for this indicator or the measurement is to also check up the progress of ourselves. Okay, so this is the example lah. This is the example for you guys to review. So for the example like for a sales team, how to check out with their performance, how to check out with their progress, they need to track down the revenue lah. For the sorry, I adjust my laptop. My laptop no battery.
Okay, let me continue here a bit. One thing very important to learn. This question is not as simple, not that simple to apply. What numbers? Now, it's not so simple because there are so many things we can measure. And the things we measure, some are very important, some are not so important. Some is relevant for some people, some is not relevant for other people. So this is where team leader, you have to figure that one out, and you have to also allow team member to identify. That's why in an organization, the key performance indicator is not very easy to derive. That's why there's always the HR department. HR department and the department head always have to work together, okay, to identify for each department their type of work, then what numbers do they need to measure. And then because different department, their work is different, then the different department, their measurement is different. Because the different measurement is different, then how do you prepare the question to be able to compile the numbers? Tough, really tough. Really tough. I remember when I was a consultant in Hong Seng, and then I was for a short period of time I was advising the HR, and we were talking about developing year-end evaluation questionnaire in order to come out with the measurement of the staff performance. Wow, difficult, man. Sometimes some question and some numbers you want to get is suitable for some people but not suitable for other people. Right? Yeah. And not only that, some questions are suitable for many people, but the requirement, the scale is different for a team department head compared to a junior staff. Again, the scale is different. So you have to not only figure out the numbers, you have to figure out the scale. Okay, you cannot put a high scale for a junior staff, and you cannot put a low scale for a senior department head. So the expectation is always higher for a senior staff or a high level staff compared to a junior staff or a low level staff. So this question is a really difficult question to implement when the organization gets bigger. Small organization, simpler. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yi Huang, are you back?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
So for the next question, what am I missing? The last question actually. So guys, what is the final goal for this question again?
Okay, any other comment? If not, Yi Huang.
Okay. So for this question, what am I missing? Basically, there is a quote for this question. Two of the fastest way to connect with another person are to ask question and to ask for help. So the first thing that pop up from my mind when I reading these quotes and also the questions that that synergy works from things is the important thing we need to consider lah. Not working alone, and leadership were not meant to do it alone but to make things together and share it. So when we comes to wait, sir, I'm not really clear about this question. That why do we ask this question in team and also to others? Can you help me?
This question is like a wrap-up question. A good leader will. I've seen a lot of meeting. Good leaders will ask it because as a leader, very often a leader they can be so busy and so caught up that sometimes they miss things. That's why they recognize that they are a human. So they need other people to help them see. That's why it is good. That's why synergy. They need other people to help them see because they recognize that they are human. And they want to make sure also they want to complete everything. They don't want to leave any piece missing. It's like the picture you put in your slide. Okay? You want to make sure that the whole circle is completed. So you ask, did I miss out any part? Is there anything I missed out? So that's why this question. What did I miss? Okay, what am I missing? That's all. It's a wrap-up question. It's a wrap-up question because you as the leader, when you're leading the team, okay, it's a wrap-up of the event, recognizing that, hey, I know I'm leading the team, but I may have missed out something. So please, everybody step up and let me know. So you are asking people to step up. It's slightly different from what question 5 and question 8. Something very different. Okay? Very different. This is like a wrap-up question to make sure you didn't leave any loophole, anything that important that you didn't talk about, you didn't discuss, or you didn't look into. Okay? Usually, I've seen a lot of leaders use this as a final question. And usually this is the final question. Okay. Once you've asked this, okay, the topic brought out, finish already. Okay. Anything else? Anything else we are missing? And then ask until nobody gives an answer to this question. Okay, then the whole event end already. The whole meeting end already. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, shall we continue? I mean,
yeah, go on. Finish it, Finish the chapter. Only a few more,
Yeah. So the things that covered in this question that we also need to consider that the environment. How do we going to create an environment that values the question, like to nurture the people? I mean, to helping the people in that environment to pay attention on how important is the question. So there is four matters that we need to concern on to values the question. Four value. So there's four value. First value each team member. Second value question more than the answer. Third value potential of your team. And the last but not least, value the improvement of a good idea. So it's basically that we at the end we still need to we have to pay attention, pay our concern on the team, on the topic, and on everything to provide a better environment to give the other have a thought on the question.
Okay, I got one more thing to add in this slide. There are 5 values, not 4. Very good. This is very good. In other words, whenever you ask questions and whenever you're dealing with the dynamics of the team, this is very important. You want to make sure that you express that each member is valuable. You also want to make sure you express that the connection between team member is valuable. This is why the value potential of your team. Okay, getting them to work together is valuable. Then you also want to make sure that the question are asked so that it stimulate deeper answers. And the answers must go to better idea and improvement, constructive. But I would put a circle around these 4, and all these 4 must be carried out under the value of time. Because you don't have, especially today's world, time is valuable. You cannot, we don't have unlimited time. There's no such thing. Okay? Speed is the essence for many cases. That's why I want to add one more, a circle around these 4 while we are trying to value the learning and the improvement, we are trying to value the individual and the synergy between team members, the teamwork. But we do have limited time. So which means that we cannot wait. We cannot keep dwelling on all this. But now this is the problem. Now that's why it becomes very difficult. The team leader has to be very clear how much time you can give in order to maximize. You see what I'm saying? Now, which is why when you are doing it, as a team leader, when you are doing it, some team member may not like it. Some team member may feel that you are rushing. Some team member may feel that you are too slow, wasting time. Wow, no joke, huh? Because value of time. So as a team member, you have to ask as a team leader, you have to ask this inside your head. How much time do I have? How can I maximize expressing value of each team member, expressing the synergy between team member, allowing time for the question to dwell, to work in their mind so that they can find answers, allowing time for interaction and discussion to generate a better idea. How much time will you allow? Right? Yeah. So because that will shape the environment, how the team will feel. And it's important in this case, as a team leader, you will have to remind, maybe in the beginning, you also, that's why maybe you can add one more question. How much time do I have, or do we have? And you probably have to tell and inform the team member ahead. Or because of our circumstances, we don't have that much time. So we will have to rush a bit. Now, always, once time is limited, right? It also means that how much you can dwell on it, how far you can go is also limited. Okay?
Okay.
Any question? That's why it's not easy. Not easy. You have, because you have also different members in the team. Some people are more impatient. Some people are slow. Some people are fast. Oh, okay. Okay?
Okay. Okay, then there is a quote for this question, for this value. So asking and hearing people's opinion has a greater effect on them than telling them good job. So it's like, likely people would likely appreciate how others receive their opinion, their voice, instead of other simply listening and giving back the response only that people doesn't want it. Actually, people actually wants a whole than a whole. the author that in this question also got mentioned that the next best thing to being wise oneself is to live in a circle of those who are. So you can do that by creating a positive environment for question.
This is about creating the value of your team. What value system did you create in your team? Let me make a correction about what Yi Huang has just said. Some people actually want to be complimented more than they want to be improved. Some people, usually the people who have weak self-esteem, they want compliment more than improvement. Because improvement means that, oh, I haven't reached yet. Compliment, oh, I have reached, I have done well. So people who self-esteem, poor self-esteem, low self-esteem, usually they want compliment more than they want improvement. But always remember, improvement have long-term value. Compliment have only momentary value. That means compliment, I'm not saying compliment is not value. There is value in compliment. But it values only for now. It makes the person feel good for now. And hopefully you can use compliment to be able to make the person feel good so that the person can move forward. Never use compliment to make a person feel good, full stop. To me, it's very sad. Okay? Because feeling good to me don't have long-term value. Okay? Long-term value is an improvement, the next improvement. So opinion is about the next improvement. But I'm not saying you shouldn't compliment, because some people need it. But I'm saying is you shouldn't just base on compliment for the sake of feeling good now. Okay? So always create a value system for your team that looks for long-term higher value, which is improvement. But improvement means criticism arise. Because improvement means I'm telling you what you can learn. Maybe I'm telling you also where you've done wrong. That's what improvement is about. Okay? So you have to understand your team member so that you can create an environment to balance these two. A compliment versus a constructive criticism. Okay.
Okay. So the last part, the last slide.
Okay. No, not yet. Last slide.
Oh, okay.
I got one more quote I want to stress. I'm going to read it. It's in the book. It's actually from the book. It is better to debate a question without settling it than to settle a question without debating it. Okay, let me share the slide. Easier.
Okay, wait.
Okay, let me share the slide. I really want to encourage this because this is very important. Okay, can you all see the slide? You see the quote. It is better to debate. Oops. Can you all see it? Yeah, I can see.
Yes.
Okay. It is better to debate a question without settling it than to settle a question without debating it. Now, this is where the team synergy comes in. Sometimes we want the team environment to feel good. That's why very often we don't object. We don't debate. Because debate is a bit of conflict. But conflict is fine. Conflict is the energy and the synergy and the thing required to trigger improvement. Every improvement needs to be fought for. And this is mental fighting. So it's okay. It's good. Okay? Only thing is you have to don't take the debate personally. But this again requires strong self-esteem. Once you have strong self-esteem, you're not worried about other people debating with you. Debate is good. That's why in YMAT, I always want to encourage debate. Okay, and finally, I found a quote that says that very clearly. But we don't. We a lot of us, we want to be Mr. Nice Guy. We don't want to make the environment, the team environment, the meeting environment feel very bad. And not good. Because once you avoid the conflict environment, you also avoid improvement. Okay, but then of course, if your self-esteem is poor, a conflict environment will lead to more conflict. Doesn't lead to improvement. So not easy to set this kind of environment. The environment where the debate become constructive and not create conflict and misunderstanding. A tough job for a team leader. Okay, any question, comment? Otherwise, I pass the time back to the slide. Also, I stopped the slide already. Pass the time back to Yi Huang.
Oh, I think my one also last slide.
Okay, go on. Go to the last slide.
Yeah. So my last slide is from actually is also a quote. So to become a better become a better leader, a successful leader, you have to change your mindset from me to we. So you are not working alone. You have to working all together with your team. So what we so call synergy lah. So if you lead the team, you need to start asking questions and really listening to them. Pay attention to them, and also start valuing the contribution of your teammate ahead of your own. And remember that when the best idea wins, the entire team also win. The win-win situation. Yeah. Sir, that's all. I finished the slide.
Okay, I think that's also all for me. Any comment, any input, any question, anything from everybody else? I hope this is stimulating a lot of thinking for application to your personal life or work life or your extracurricular life or your personal endeavor. Actually, a lot of content here, a lot, and each of those can be expanded some more.
Nobody respond.
Okay, if nobody, then as usual, we're going to call it the night.